Have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to do and then spent the rest of the day feeling resentful about it? Maybe it was another favor, another phone call, or another obligation that you didn't have the energy for, but you said yes anyway just because saying no made you feel guilty. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And if you feel guilty every time you say no, then this video is for you. Not because you're weak, but because many of us were taught that it's our job to keep everyone comfortable, even when their comfort comes at a personal cost. Today, we're talking about how to set boundaries with the people you love without turning yourself into the villain in your own story. Now, right up front, I want you to understand something important. The guilt you feel when you set a boundary is often a reflex. It's not your conscience telling you that you've done something wrong. It's a reaction to doing something different. If you've gone for the most of your life saying yes, being accommodating, adjusting, and stretching yourself thin, then the first few times you set a boundary, it will feel wrong, almost cruel. And that doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's different. That uncomfortable feeling is not proof that you're hurting someone. It's proof that you're changing a pattern. So who do you need to set a boundary with? Ask yourself, is there something or someone that you resent, someone you avoid, someone who drains you emotionally, someone whose name pops up on your phone and you think, oh gosh, I'll just deal with that later? That hesitation is information. Pay attention to it. Sometimes we think boundaries are only for difficult people, but they're often needed for perfectly normal relationships where expectations have never really been clearly defined. When it's time to set a boundary, think of it as a conversation, not a courtroom speech or not a history lesson. Don't put on your judge's robe and list every offense. You don't need to excavate a past like you're an archaeologist digging through the ruins. Start from now. From this point forward, I'd like it to work like this. That's enough. And here's the big one. Don't over-explain. Many of us, especially women and especially older women, tend to over-explain. We give a 5-minute justification when one clear sentence would do. Over-explaining invites debate. Over-explaining invites pushback. And over-explaining weakens your position. Simple is stronger. Examples like, I'm not available after 8 o'clock. I can help once a week, but not every day. I'm not discussing that topic anymore. Or, I won't be able to host every holiday, but I can do one. Clear, calm, done. Expect discomfort, yours and sometimes theirs. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is growth. And there's something that surprises people. Many reasonable people respond to boundaries with, oh, okay. No drama, no fight, because they didn't realize that there was a problem, that your expectations and theirs were simply misaligned. Healthy people, they'll adjust when you communicate with them clearly. The people who become angry when you set a boundary are often the ones who benefited the most from your not having one. And that's really important information, not a reason to back down. Let's add a few everyday phrases that you can actually use. I'm not able to commit to that right now. That doesn't work for me, but here's what I can do. I need more notice before going forward, or I'm protecting my downtime, or even I'm not changing my mind on this. Notice none of these are mean. They're not hostile. They're simply clear. And another key piece, boundaries are easier when you decide them before the emotional moment. Decide your limits ahead of time. Pre-decide your yes and no. When the situation happens, you're not scrambling, you're responding. Also, remember, boundaries are not punishments. They're not walls to shut people out. They are guidelines to show that people how to stay in a relationship with you in a healthy way. Think of boundaries as relationship instructions. Now, these relationships instructions are very important because without them, people are just left to guess. And with them, people understand. And finally, you are not responsible for managing everyone else's feelings about your limits. You are responsible for communicating them respectfully. Their reactions belong to them. If someone says, if you loved me, you would. If you cared, you would say yes. And after all I've done for you, that's not love, that's leverage. Real love respects limits. Setting boundaries without guilt comes down to two things. First, you must be clear about what you actually want and need in your relationships. And second, you must accept that keeping everyone comfortable all the time is not your job. Honest relationships require truth. Truth requires limits, and limits require courage. And courage feels uncomfortable at first. But on the other side of that discomfort, that's something really powerful. Self-respected, calmer relationships and emotional energy for people and things that truly matter. And that's worth it. I'd love to hear about your experiences with setting limits or the lack of setting limits and the effect it's had on your life and relationships. Chime in below, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.